Have you ever found yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, feeling a strange mix of boredom and anxiety? Or maybe you've binged an entire season of a show in one sitting, only to be left with a sense of emptiness afterward. It's like you're constantly chasing something, but you're never quite satisfied. What's going on here? Well, what you might be experiencing is the insidious effect of chronic consumption, fueled by what many call cheap dopamine. And if you are not familiar with this term, do not worry. I am going to explain it all to you in a bit. But trust me, it is a very important topic to understand in today's world. This isn't just about wasting time, though. It's about how this cycle can rob you of your motivation, your creativity, and ultimately, your sense of purpose. But here's the good news. You are not stuck. There's a way out, a path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. And it involves tapping into your creative potential, finding ways to contribute, and rediscovering the power of genuine connection. We are going to explore this journey together, and I'll offer you some practical tools and strategies along the way. But first, let's understand what we are up against. Think about it. We live in a world of instant gratification. Everything is designed to grab your attention and keep you hooked. Social media, streaming services, video games, even pornography. They all offer quick hits of pleasure, a fleeting sense of satisfaction. This pleasure comes primarily from a neurotransmitter in your brain called dopamine. Now, dopamine isn't the enemy. It's a crucial part of our brain's reward system, motivating us to pursue things that are good for us, like food, water, and social connection. But here's the problem. The modern world has figured out how to hack this system, providing us with superstimuli, experiences that trigger a massive release of dopamine, far beyond what we'd encounter naturally. It is like comparing a sugar rush from a candy bar to the sustained energy you get from a balanced meal. The candy bar gives you a quick high followed by a crash, leaving you wanting more. That's cheap dopamine in action. It is a short-lived pleasure that comes from low-effort activities, and it leaves you feeling depleted and unmotivated in the long run. Think about the last time you spent hours scrolling through social media. Did you feel energized and inspired afterward? Or did you feel drained, maybe even a little bit down on yourself? The constant stream of curated, often unrealistic images and updates can leave you feeling inadequate, envious, or simply disconnected from your own life. That is just an example, but it perfectly illustrates how this cycle operates. Now consider the difference between consuming content passively and actively creating something. When you're creating, whether it's writing, painting, playing music, building something, or even just thoughtfully engaging in a conversation, you're not just receiving information, you're actively shaping it, transforming it, adding your own unique perspective. This process can be challenging, even frustrating at times, but it's also deeply rewarding. Why? Because when you create, you're not just stimulating your brain with external input. You're also engaging in a process of self-discovery. You're figuring out what you think, what you feel, what you value. You're developing your skills, honing your talents, and pushing your boundaries. And in doing so, you're building something that is uniquely yours, something that has the potential to make a real impact on the world, even if it's just a small one. And here is where writing comes into play. It's such a powerful tool for self-discovery and creative expression. It doesn't have to be about writing a novel or becoming a famous blogger. It can be as simple as keeping a journal where you explore your thoughts and feelings, process your experiences, and set goals for yourself. Think of writing as a way to have a conversation with yourself, to clarify your thinking, and to gain a deeper understanding of who you are and what you want out of life. When you write, you're not just recording information, you're actively shaping your understanding of the world. It is a way to externalize your internal world, making it easier to examine, reflect upon, and ultimately change. You might start by simply describing your day, what happened, how you felt about it. Or you could explore a particular challenge you're facing, brainstorming possible solutions, and weighing their pros and cons. Maybe you have a dream, something you've always wanted to do, but you're not sure where to start. Writing can help you break it down into smaller, more manageable steps, making it feel less daunting and more achievable. But the benefits of creative contribution go beyond personal growth. When you contribute to something larger than yourself, whether it's your local community, a cause you believe in, or simply helping a friend in need, you tap into a deep well of purpose and meaning. And that is not an exaggeration. Think about the last time you genuinely helped someone, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to make a difference. How did it make you feel? Probably pretty good, right? That's because acts of service and contribution trigger the release of dopamine in a much more sustainable and fulfilling way than those cheap dopamine hits we talked about earlier. It's about shifting your focus from what can I get to what can I give. And the beautiful thing is, the more you give, the more you receive. It's a virtuous cycle that can lead to a profound sense of purpose and well-being. Now, let's talk about some practical strategies you can use to break free from the grip of chronic consumption and cultivate a more creative and fulfilling life. One powerful technique is called non-sleep deep rest, or NSDR. This is a simple yet effective way to calm your mind and body, reduce stress, and improve your focus. It involves lying down comfortably, closing your eyes, and focusing on your breath or listening to a guided meditation. The goal is not to fall asleep, but to enter a state of deep relaxation where your mind is quiet and your body is at ease. Just 10 to 20 minutes of NSDR a day can make a big difference in your overall well-being. It is like hitting the reset button on your nervous system, allowing you to return to your daily activities, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Another crucial element is physical activity. Exercise isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good, both physically and mentally. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting and pain-relieving effects. Regular physical activity also helps regulate your dopamine levels, reducing cravings for those cheap dopamine fixes. And it doesn't have to be anything extreme. A brisk walk, a bike ride, a dance session in your living room, anything that gets your heart pumping and your body moving will do the trick. The key is to find something you enjoy, something that you can realistically incorporate into your daily routine. Now let's talk about small victories. This is a powerful strategy for building momentum and boosting your motivation. The idea is to set small, achievable goals for yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. Why is this important? Because every time you accomplish a goal, no matter how small, your brain releases a little burst of dopamine. It's a natural reward that reinforces the positive behavior and motivates you to keep going. It is a much healthier and more sustainable source of this neurotransmitter than the cheap dopamine we have discussed before. So instead of setting massive, overwhelming goals that are likely to lead to disappointment, break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't try to write the whole thing at once. Start with a chapter, then a page, then a paragraph. Celebrate each milestone, no matter how small. Each small victory will fuel your motivation and build your confidence. Another crucial aspect of this journey is learning to embrace boredom. Yes, you read that right. Boredom. In our hyper-stimulated world, boredom has become something to be avoided at all costs. We reach for our phones the moment we have a spare second, filling every gap with a constant stream of information and entertainment. But what if boredom isn't the enemy? What if it's actually a valuable opportunity for creativity and self-reflection? Think back to your childhood, before smartphones and the internet. You probably had moments of boredom, moments when you had nothing to do and nowhere to be. And what did you do during those moments? You probably used your imagination. You invented games, told stories, built forts out of blankets, explored the world around you with a sense of wonder and curiosity. Boredom was the space where your creativity flourished, and it still can be. When you allow yourself to be bored, you give your mind a chance to wander, to make connections, to come up with new ideas. It's in those moments of quiet stillness that inspiration often strikes. The problem is that we've become so accustomed to constant stimulation that we've forgotten how to be bored. We've become afraid of it even. We see it as a sign of failure, a waste of time. But the truth is, boredom is a natural and necessary part of the creative process. It is okay to just be, to let your mind wander without any specific goal or purpose. Now, it's crucial to distinguish between true rest and the pseudo-rest we often get from technology. True rest involves disconnecting from all external stimuli. No screens, no notifications, no constant stream of information. It's about giving your mind a chance to truly unwind and recharge. Using technology, on the other hand, even if it feels relaxing, is often just another form of stimulation. It might not be as intense as scrolling through social media, but it's still engaging your brain in a way that prevents it from fully resting. You think you are resting, but you really are not. So how can you cultivate a healthier relationship with boredom and rest? One strategy is to schedule regular periods of unplugged time each day. Put your phone away, turn off the TV, and just be with yourself, without any distractions. You might be surprised at what emerges from the silence. You could also try spending more time in nature. Studies have shown that spending time in natural settings can reduce stress, improve focus, and boost creativity. A walk in the park, a hike in the woods, or simply sitting under a tree can do wonders for your mental and emotional well-being. Ultimately, overcoming chronic consumption and finding purpose is about reclaiming your attention, your time, and your life. It's about shifting from a passive, consumer-driven mindset to an active, creative one. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from external validation or fleeting pleasures, but from within, from the meaningful connections you make, the contributions you offer, and the person you choose to become. This journey is not about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when you slip up, when you fall back into old habits. That's okay. It's part of the process. The important thing is to keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Remember, you have the power to shape your own life, to create your own meaning, to make a difference in the world. It all starts with a single step, a single choice, a single act of creation. Embrace the challenge, embrace the journey, and embrace the incredible potential that lies within you. You might find that the most rewarding experiences in life come not from what you consume, but from what you create, what you contribute, and who you become in the process. And that's a journey worth taking, don't you think? This path is not just about finding purpose, it's about discovering the depths of your own potential and the richness of a life lived intentionally.